I'm starting a new lecture series today on sex. Now, 100 years ago, Victorian schoolmarms would be very offended by that topic. But today I fear young kids will take most offense. So can I begin by just saying I don't mean to cause offense. I don't mean to stir people up and get people angry at me. I don't know what's right or wrong. I don't know the truth. I'm not saying there isn't a truth. I'm just saying I don't know it. My lectures, I always told my kids, if you walk out with more questions than answers, then I've done my job. So I want to make sure that's clear. I don't really have a thesis. I'm not sure where this lecture series is going. I am actually myself a Victorian school marm, so I tend toward the traditional, but maybe the traditional is not going to work in this new society. That's a huge question that we have to grapple with, I think. And finally, this is not aimed at you specifically. So if you are a polygamist, or if you've been a victim of incest or something bad, and I talk about this, I'm not meaning to point you out. This is just an accident. So let's do one observation. If you don't like what I say in the next few minutes, then perhaps you should skip the rest of the lecture series. So, October 2017 was the beginning of the Me Too movement. I think it was the first time in my lifetime, at least, that society as a whole said no to sex. You can't do this. Now, 1 month earlier, September 2017, so a month before the Me Too movement started, Hugh Hefner died. Coincidence? Maybe not. So this is just a conjecture. I'm not saying this is true, but this is just a conjecture. Could it be that Hugh Hefner was the demon of toxic male sexuality? Think about it for a moment. When Hugh Hefner started his magazine Playboy in the 1950s, and really the 60s and 70s was its heyday, he was telling people, hey, those old sexual norms, don't worry about them. You don't have to stay married. You can ogle girls in my magazine and still be sophisticated and cosmopolitan like me. And in fact, you can have lots of girls like me, a whole harem of girls, and still I'm, not one of those pornographers. I've got good articles and interviews. And then he dies, and then the Me Too movement begins. Think about this in a different way. Think about those things that happened in the 70s and 80s. Think about Roman Polanski having sex with a 13-year-old girl and running away when he's convicted, and then the Hollywood celebrities say, put out a full page ad saying, oh, bring him back, forgive him, he's such an artist. Or imagine Woody Allen when he makes his movie Manhattan, a beautiful movie, Academy Award winner, I think, and it's about a middle-aged man who's having sex with a high school girl. Well, then he himself, Woody Allen, in real life, runs off with his girlfriend's adopted daughter, who's just barely a teenager. Do you think those things would be acceptable today? No. they required the demon of male sexuality, toxic male sexuality, to protect them. Okay, that's not true, by the way. I don't believe in demons, but if you didn't like that, well, then don't listen to the rest of the lectures.